nice space in there in the beginning, so I know where to start the show.
Yeah, I was being quiet just for that.
Right, of course. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else, because we had a bunch of holdovers from the last couple of weeks of stuff to be talking about.
Yeah, I know you were racking them up and keeping them ready to go, warm in the old toaster oven. Right,
and we had recorded early last week.
Yeah, that's right, because of the 4th of July.
Right, and that put my mind in a weird headspace. So, Judy, how was your 4th? Everything okay? Nothing got blown off?
Nothing got blown off, and I didn't go anywhere. I stayed home and did nothing. I'm becoming a real indoor person, Joe.
You get no complaints from me regarding that. I'm not a house... obviously, since the pandemic and everything, I'm lucky to leave the house once a day, maybe. And that's that's been cut down because, and again, this is the Old Man podcast, but, the weather's been shitty lately. It's either raining or it's like super humid out at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So,
yeah,
it's like if I go out for a walk, I'm like, well, I'm like soaking wet just because of how goddamn humid it is, or it's raining outside. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to go for a walk in the rain.
Right.
I do get out my once a week to go up and get my comics. I go up my dad's house on Sundays, Other than that, this wrestling pay-per-view gets me out of the house.
I know. I was picking on DJ as I saw him today. He's like, how you doing? I said, yeah, I don't get out. I don't get invited to those big parties up on the hill, right? He goes, broaden your horizons, start to like wrestling. I was like, no thanks.
No, it's not start to. It's like wrestling again. You were on board once before.
I was Attitude Era pilled. That was it. I was pilled. There's a difference. I told him to start having Doctor Who parties on the hill when it comes back.
That's not going to happen.
Me, you, all the stars will be there, Joe. So,
but fire up the grill or something?
I don't own a grill.
Okay.
I had a grill for the longest time left over from like my stepfather had a grill, and I had like a big like propane and propane accessories on the tank and everything. And I was like, I'm firing up a grill outside for like 2 hot dogs or like 2 hamburgers. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm cooking for, you like if it was you, April and Ace, whoever, like a family. I'm just like, it's me. It's like, I'll just throw it in the toaster oven and cook whatever I got to cook. I'll fry it on the whatever. It became just, not my thing. So
not even a George Foreman grill?
That I haven't used that in a long, long time because I like my hot dogs broiled. And then I haven't made a hamburger in a long, long time. I don't know the last time I made a hamburger. It might have been like years ago.
Hey, you're missing out. Hamburgers are delicious.
I'm not saying I haven't eaten a hamburger.
Oh, you just haven't cooked one yourself.
I like to go to the Glider Diner and get a hamburger. That's my favorite hamburger. And I just want to get, how like you have your rules against stuff? Love hamburgers.
That doesn't sound like me.
But okay. The thing I hate is a hamburger on a hard roll. Hate it.
On a hard roll?
Yes, like the National Bakery hard rolls.
Okay.
Because whenever I bite into it, you know how like they're like a hard roll is pinwheeled? Like it has like little like wedges, sections that kind of go around like a shell?
Yeah.
Whenever you bite into, no matter how big your bite is, you take a whole wedge out. The structural integrity of the bread is bad. So I like a hamburger bun or nothing at all.
Where are you going that they put hamburger
right.
on a hard roll?
I've been places that do it, and I don't get hamburgers there ever again. So I know, Mickey Gannon's in Scranton?
Yes.
They do a hamburger on a hard roll. As much as I love my bagel place, they do lunch. They put hamburgers on a hard roll. I don't know of many other places because I only get my hamburgers now. Like I have my routine where I know, like if I go to a place, it's like these are either my one thing or I have like three things that I'm going to choose from. So I have my burger places now, and until they're gone, I have my burger places.
I was going to say, because my one of the places that I like to go to for a burger is no longer in business, sadly. Right. I think there was they were cutting their hours down and cutting their hours down and cutting their hours down, and then they completely closed. And then they started selling off the inside piecemeal on Facebook Marketplace.
You were telling me about that, yeah.
That was a real bummer. Me and Jerry, Stan Malibu, commiserated over that one because that was one of our favorite places.
Right, when you're bowling.
But I get you. But a majority of the places that I go to, I don't find only time that I find a place that has a hard roll for a burger is like if you go to like a bar, and not like a bar and grill, but like it's a bar that has a bar menu.
Yeah, it's like it's got nachos, hamburgers, wings, and like French fries, and that's pretty much your staple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But obviously, like around here, whether it be at my house or go to my brother's house or what have you, everything is on hamburger buns because there's more kids than adults there, and there's no fucking way like a little kid's gonna eat like a hard sesame roll or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I mean they make them softer too, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Now, have you branched out? And again, I don't know the fancy places that you go to for your hamburgers, if there's anything else like your bagel place. Mm-hmm. When we went to the Pierogi Fest last month or whatever the hell that was, on their sign, they didn't have them when we were there. It was a bagel burger, where it would be like your typical whatever you get on a burger, but your bun is a bagel. Is that too much for you?
I think that would be too much for me because I've had bagels. Okay. The only thing for me, I would eat bagels if there's an egg sandwich, which I'm fine with. You know what I mean? That's breakfast. A regular sandwich, like by that I mean cold cuts, I'm okay with a bagel. Mm-hmm. But after that, I don't know how I would be with a hamburger on a bagel because bagels are like heavy. You know what I mean? With at least the egg sandwich, it's like, oh, okay, eggs are light. But that just seems like, whoa, that would be a little bit hitting hard.
I will say, if your local McDonald's has them, the McDonald's breakfast sandwich, some McDonald's have them, some don't. You can get a bagel sandwich.
Right.
And McDonald's also on, like, as their meats that you could put on a breakfast sandwich, you have your Canadian ham, which they call bacon. Then they also have bacon, which they also call bacon. Right. They have sausage, and then they have, like, a steak patty.
Right.
It's kind of like, it's not as soft as, like, a Salisbury steak, and it's not as tough as, like, a ribeye. It's somewhere in between the two. Mm-hmm. So you get that on a bagel. Obviously no cheese. And I get onion, and they don't call it butter. They don't call it margarine. They call it breakfast spread.
I knew there was spread was going to be in the name.
Yes, breakfast spread. Mm-hmm. And I get one of those, and they're delicious. They're a delicacy.
Right.
I wish there was a way that, obviously you can't do breakfast all day at McDonald's anymore.
Right. They took that away. You see, they should have never gave it to you if they were going to take it away. But that's a whole nother show.
I don't know if you're a McDonald's person. I'm going to guess not, since you're going to your fancy burger place and fancy bagel places. The McDonald's are doing away with the McCafe, the coffee stuff, and the snack, not the McCafe, the bakery stuff, like the muffins, the cookies and jazz.
But not the coffees.
Not the coffee.
There's money in that, but.
Well, right. So there's that, and again, I've mentioned them from time to time, because again, this is the old man show. If we're not talking about the weather, we're talking about food. Mm-hmm. That McFranchise guy.
Yeah, you were trying to bring him and Krispy Kreme together. Not right. The rap.
Well, and again, I'll tell the thing here. They were talking on the Double J podcast about advertising stuff, and Conrad, who does all the wrestler podcasts and gives friends of mine jobs as well. He was talking about how you'll see like real estate guys, and they're billboard will be like, it's a picture of them and it's a whole thing and it's a write-up and we sell houses and all this other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see like a McDonald's ad and it has like, it's red, it's yellow, it has a picture of a sandwich, might have a picture of a drink, and it says next exit.
Yep.
Granted, they have, you know, a little bit more longevity, brand awareness or whatever, but sometimes simple is better. They got talking about the hot donuts now sign at Krispy Kreme.
Right.
And Conrad was saying that McDonald's should have a hot fries now sign.
I listen, you are preaching to the choir on that. Just to come around. Okay, you asked me if I'm a McDonald's guy. I'm not if I want a hamburger, that's my first hamburger place. But that being said, like the other day I had running around to do for my father. I had a small breakfast, small lunch. I was starving by 7:00, but I wasn't done. The McDonald's was right by. I pulled in and I got McDonald's.
There you go.
So, yeah, I will eat it. It's not my first choice, and I always feel a little dirty afterwards. Not because I ate McDonald's, because of what it does to me inside. But my thing is I hate fucking gambling on McDonald's because I'll go in and I'll be like, well, not go in, but I'll do the drive-thru because I'm driving. And I'll be like, all right, there's a long line of drive-thru. That means the fries are going to be fresh, I hope, you know? So I'll go, all right, give me this and make it the large fry. And if I get cold fries, I lose my shit. But then I'll be like, oh, I think today's going to be, they're going to be cold fries. And I'll just give me a small and I'll get a thing. And I get them and they're piping fucking hot. I'm like, I lost that bet again. I cannot win. The only thing worse, it's like I lose more at the McDonald's window than I do at the blackjack table at the Mohegan Sun.
This should go into the opportunities tab over on the Discord that you're not in.
I'm getting there. I tried to. We'll come around to that. I tried to sign up, and it was like, okay, do you want to sign up? Do you want to use an email or a phone number? I said, the phone number. We'll try with the phone number. So I'm like, here's my phone number. Next step. We have sent you a code that you have to enter. No, you didn't. Try it again. No, you didn't. So I'm like, okay, I was going to use my email, but I tried this 3 times and it didn't work. We'll do it another time. You know what I mean? I wasn't happy with the way it was working.
I get you.
I was like, I am not going to spend any more time on this tonight, which happened right after we recorded the Discord show.
Patreon show, but yes.
Okay, yes, one of them. Wherever we talked about Discord.
I try to just mention it once every show.
Nope, I get you. Patreon. Tune in.
It's on the if you're a member of our Patreon, you can get the link and sign up. Mm-hmm. You know, there's people there. They're talking about stuff, posting pictures. You know,
I think the toy group's dead, so that's where I have to go.
It's dying if it's not dead.
Right, Kevin Ford's still around. You're still around, and that's it.
Kevin's in the Discord. I'm in the Discord. You know.
Right. Well, who knows? Maybe I'll give it another try tonight after we're done recording.
Right.
So, and then I could talk about McDonald's over there.
So you're gambling on the fries already, okay? Mm-hmm. And it depends on how much time you have. You know, and I know I can't convince you to use the McDonald's app. God forbid, right?
No.
God forbid we add convenience to your life, right?
Oh, the guy whose main bit on the After Dark is complaining about apps and the service.
And listen, I will be the first one to admit the reason it doesn't matter if I use the app, if I go through the drive-thru, or I walk into the store and place my order. If I'm ordering something and I put no cheese on it, I've broken the matrix. It does not matter how I do it. And that's invariably where any problem that I have with any sort of fast food ordering is, right? If I'm really in a hurry, I make sure that I order like nuggets or fries or whatever it is that you don't get. There's no option for cheese, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm just looking here to see.
Is there a button on the app for hot fries?
No. Okay,
Wendy's is doing a guaranteed hot fry thing now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they have, because I've been in there, and I've gotten it, and I eat that less, but every time you go in, and the commercials they're running are like, hot fries every time, and every time I went in, as the orders come, they do the fries.
Okay.
Oh, but go ahead.
So, again, obviously, between me and you, I like Wendy's fries, but they ain't McDonald's fries. You could order your McDonald's fries with no salt, and then they have to make a new batch.
Mm-hmm. See, I always heard that was a myth, that all they did is dunk them again.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Like, you haven't worked there in a long time, but go ahead.
As someone who has worked at a McDonald's, there's like there's like if you've ever seen them prepare your fries, right? There's a big giant metal tub, like a big like curved, almost like a half pipe, and they dump the fries in there, and they'll dump like 2 or 3 baskets at a time. They'll sprinkle them with the salt, and I say sprinkle. Who am I kidding, right?
As Louis Anderson says, they use the blizzard shaker.
Yeah. So when we would get the person who would come through and say they wanted fries with no salt, we literally had to say, okay, you're going to need to wait because we need to make you a new batch. It takes a couple minutes, right? But that little thing that we dump them in, we need to push all the fries that are in there to one side. We need to completely wipe down an area in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then dump the fresh fries in there, because there's like holes and stuff that, like, you shake the excess grease off. Then you dump it in there, and more of the excess grease comes off. You got to let them set, because you don't want to put them directly from the piping hot grease into a paper sleeve, You need to give them like a 5 Mississippi. You dump them, give them the 5 Mississippi, then you scoop them into the thing, and then you integrate them into the already salted fries. And then you just get a little packet of salt, you sprinkle the salt on yourself, and you got fresh fries with salt on them,
Okay, so now that's a great and all, right? That's great and all. Here's Todd's thinking with that. Okay, so you have to go in and do that. You can't do that through the drive-thru unless you keep a shaker of salt in your car.
Right, okay, so there are people that would keep, like, you'd have, like, your salts and your peppers and your sugars and stuff from back in the day, the people that have those sort of things in their glove boxes,
Yep. So there's that. Inside, different story, because you can get the salts at the like they have the condiment stand, which don't even get me started on the ketchup pump. So they have that. Because I'm not going to go through, say, give me fries with no salt, and then ask for salt. Because right off the bat, doing everything that you said that the guy behind the counter has to do, because my fries are moist from oil because they're fresh, there may be no salt, but I guarantee it's 20% spit.
See?
For that whole, like, fuck me, you got to do this,
And again,
you're a good guy, though. You'd never do that. You love everybody.
Listen, first of all, I'm not a good guy. I hate everyone. Mm-hmm. But in what world? I think and again, I can't speak for, in my time that I worked in an actual diner/restaurant,
mm-hmm.
I've seen more people making the food fucking with the food than the times that I worked at fast food places and saw people fucking with the food or spitting on the food, right?
Right.
Again, you are talking to someone who goes to places, and if I want a shitty McDonald's burger, no cheese, I'm gonna get that shitty burger, no cheese. If I'm going inside, I'm going to the drive-thru, whatever it is, I'm taking that sucker out, and it's always at the bottom of the goddamn bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking everything out of the bag. I'm opening the thing up in front of you. I'm looking at you. And I'm either giving you the approving nod that you followed the direction of the sticker that's on there, the sticker that you printed out and put on there that says no cheese. And I'm looking at the thing and it says no cheese. I'm giving you the nod. Or I'm looking at that sticker on the top that says no cheese. And I lift up the thing and it's got cheese on it. And it's a disapproving shake of my head. And I'll close the goddamn thing and I'll hold it up. And I say, see how this says no cheese on it? My burger has cheese on it. Can I get one with no cheese, please?
Mm-hmm.
Inside the store, Todd, I could see them making the goddamn food the way these things are set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they want me out of that store as quickly as possible because I'm now a problem. I'm cutting down on their bottom line. They can't get my number, my order, my whatever. They can't close it out until I have my food and I can go. It doesn't close off if I did it on the app until they close it off on there, right? And if that hangs, that cuts down on, like, their productivity, all that other shit. I have never at a McDonald's of all the times, and Todd, you got to bear in mind, just think to yourself, how many times have I sent the burger back that had cheese on it and I've gotten a replacement, right?
110% of the time?
Dozens of times. Hundreds of times. And I've never, and I look at them while they're making the goddamn shit. I'm staring at the person making my food through the whatever. And there's dozens of people around there. Let's say I turn my head for a second, right? And this guy decides, I'm going to fuck with this guy and I'm going to spit in his food. He asked for a simple request of no cheese. There's a giant thing that's flashing on the screen that says no cheese. There's a sticker on the box that says no cheese. And that wasn't enough to clue me in to be like, hey, maybe don't put cheese on this one, right? It's his fault I have to do this again.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think someone's going to be around him and notice him doing it?
See, you, sir, are thinking of the just obvious loogie. Don't tell me there isn't a little nose pick or, something. There isn't something he's doing to ruin that burger. That's not just, like if anybody catches me doing it. They're master crafts at doing misdirection, if you will. Regular David fucking Copperfield. I don't know what it is, but I would not put it past because there ain't. No, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm just going to say,
all right,
people who want to fuck with you will find a way. And anybody, you think the guy back there making minimum wage who has to make that burger again isn't, even though it's his fault, he's taken 100%. Oh, this is my fault. It falls squarely upon my shoulders. This fucking guy, he should have just took the goddamn cheese. That's what goes through their mind. I'll guarantee you 100% of the time they don't take the blame and go, what did I do wrong? It's just fucking Jesus Christ. Just eat the burger. That's the attitude. Or at least that's the attitude I'd have.
And again, I think you're giving the folks that work at it, and again, we're giving McDonald's a hard rap, you know.
Any of them.
Burger King, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, Big Kahuna Burger, wherever you're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think you're giving the people that work there making the burgers a little bit too much credit that like they fuck up so much at their job that they figured out a stealth system that even the person standing right next to them on the line isn't going to be able to pick up their subtle snot rocket or wiping a booger. Listen. Or like putting a loose fingernail in the middle of my burger or something.
Listen. It's the uniform. The uniform sticks together. They all bleed red and yellow, Joe.
Well, McDonald's these days are wearing the purple shirts for the Grimace Shake, but I get what you're
Grimace.
saying.
When I was just there, they were out of the Grimace Shake.
The Grimace Shake went away this past week. It went away last week. It's gone.
Right. But I'm just saying, when I went, they were like, "We're all out of the Grimace." Okay, maybe that's why they have the signs up, so you don't even ask.
There you go.
But I bet you people ask.
I bet you they do. Now, granted, if you go inside the store by my house, they still have all the signage and the decorations up for Grimace's birthday. Mm-hmm. But they ain't got no more Grimace Shakes, but that's okay. Right. I wasn't a Grimace Shake guy. I want to live,
Now, is it all this stuff on the walls, or is it on the computer, like the TV screen that changes? Because that's lazy.
When you walk into my McDonald's and you hang a left, you walk in, you hang a left. On your left is like the soda fountain stuff. You go fill your own goddamn drink. And directly above that is a giant sign that says "Happy Birthday, Grimace." And then to the right of that, they have a giant display with a bunch of like fake Grimace Shakes, like they dyed like some cotton balls purple and put them in the cups. Right. And they put the straws, and they got like a big signage thing up that like somebody made and put together.
Right, Arts and Crafts Grimace Shakes.
Yes. That's still up at my shop.
See, that should be taken down with a flamethrower.
And again, listen, the day that they said no more Grimace Shakes, all that stuff should have been torn down and thrown away.
They're too busy figuring out how to ruin hamburgers, Joe.
Right.
We're going to get sued by McDonald's.
Nah, listen, hopefully they reach out to us and say, how can we make this better?
That is true, because it never ends badly when they get you on Twitter. It ends with perfect satisfaction.
Listen, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Any place you go to, they're going to screw something up,
That is true.
It's almost as though there's human error in the world, right?
Right. It is true. We almost needed the all heat, no heaters jingle, but we did.
It's 2 weeks in a row that we teased playing that on this show, but
I can make it a throw. I can be angry every week if you need.
All right. Well, listen, you're pretty angry for someone who never leaves the house. How about that?
I will say I did leave the house to do to go to the optometrist for my yearly visit.
Yes.
And you have to check yourself in, which is a thing I don't like.
Okay.
Like you walk in and there's two lovely young ladies sitting behind glass, and you're like, "Hello, I'm here for my appointment." Check in at the kiosk right here, right in front of me. You go type your name in, you type your appointment in, then you have to drop your ID in a slot and it scans it. Then you have to drop your insurance card in the slot and it scans it. And then you have to give all the info, like what's your phone number, what's your address, who's your emergency contact. I'm like, all the shit that I did last time. Like, every time I come in here, you do this. And now you don't even have time to look at me, like, go, do the touch screen thing. I was hot about that, Joe. I was like, come on, just ask me, 5 questions and let's move on,
So, not to defend these people, Todd, God forbid.
Right.
However, it's been a year since you've been there. In most cases, it's been more than a year since a lot of people have gone.
Mm-hmm.
If, God forbid, something goes wrong when they're blowing the air into your eye and giving you drops, they need to make sure that your emergency contact stuff is up to date. They need to make sure that your insurance stuff is up to date. And essentially, that's all they're doing is just verifying that, have you moved in the last year? Is this still how we can reach you? So on and so forth, right?
I'm all fine with that. I get. How about you have the information in the computer, and when it comes up, you ask me if this is the same.
Oh, okay. So I get what you're saying is they're having you re-enter it. Yeah.
Yes. Or the lady behind the counter take 5 seconds and ask those 5 questions, and we'd be done. I wouldn't have to stand in front of a computer with people coming in behind me waiting to use it.
Yeah, I get you, because I know mine.
Like, you have 2 women at the counter.
Uh-huh.
Who last time I came in here, they asked me these 5-6 questions, looked at my ID, looked at my card. But now, it's like, oh, check yourself in. Like, how about you take some money off my bill? You know what I mean? For me doing your job.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, they're probably paying them less.
Good.
They're still charging you the same amount. They're just charging them less.
There you see that. Now I'm madder again. But anyway, right. But I could see okay.
There you go. It'll make you happier. Signing up for our Patreon, Todd. Go sign up. Little as $1 a month. You're gonna get the 2 bonus shows a month. Given the hard push a little bit here, maybe you're at the $5 level, so you're listening to this in the correct listening order. Todd's worked all of his anger out, and listen, if I say this every month, I'm gonna say this every month. I feel as though this past week's Previewing the Past was one of our best.
3 hours of the best, Joe.
Well, we've had the last 4 episodes have been 3+ hours each, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't even go through this one to take all the uhs and ums and whatever out. I'm just like, fuck it. It's just going up as it is because it was so late and it was taking so long to export and everything else like that. I'm just like, fuck it. It's going up, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe I might redo the episode and take all the ahs and ums and whatever's out. But I feel as though sometimes the ahs and ums help while we're thumbing through the catalog sort of thing, right?
Yeah. You know what? It's for people to take a moment and then just absorb what we've said so far.
Yeah.
Take a break, because our wisdom and intelligence, sometimes takes a minute to comprehend.
Yes, exactly. And just as a side note, and we're gonna close everything out here. I know I had talked a couple months ago here on the pod that the Hawkins and Broski show on their Patreon, they're doing a movie club where one of the people on the show assigns the other guys on the show a movie they've never seen before, and then they all watch the movie and they talk about it.
Right.
You know what movie they're doing next month?
Is it Megaforce and or Dick Tracy?
It's Dick Tracy.
Well, if Megaforce comes up, Joe, you know what we're doing? We're getting a Jeep or a tank or a F-16, and we're invading their studio, Joe.
Well, they do record from 3 different locations, but we could go to one of their live shows. And
there you go. We can show up and do that.
So the reason, and again, I was listening, I was tipped off to listen to it ahead of time. And as soon as I heard Broski say it again, goddamn Broski, he goes, it's a movie that had a toy line and it was a huge flop. And I pounded my desk and I'm like, you son of a bitch.
It could have been either Megaforce or Dick Tracy.
Now, so that's the thing. I think Megaforce is way too out of their whatever. They're younger than us, they're late 30s as opposed to us that are early 40s.
Right.
So
early to mid late 50s for
so they were watching stuff they weren't even alive, they weren't even conscious when Ghostbusters came out, right?
Right.
But Broski's a big Ghostbusters guy. And that's the difference of 3 or 4 years from when Megaforce came out and when Ghostbusters came out. I think somebody needs to tip Broski off that Megaforce had a toy line.
And it'd be shoo-in.
Yeah. If only we knew somebody who listened to this show that was still in the Toy Boy group and could post pictures of the Megaforce toys and say, who watched this as a kid? Who had these when they were a kid? You must have had a great childhood if these were your toys,
That is true. We may have to indoctrinate someone.
Right. So yeah, the Patreon, the main show, the eBay affiliate thing, whatever, all that stuff. Those are all ways that you can support us. But just listen to the show, tell a friend, the usual stuff, I guess. Yep. I don't know.
And nothing about Prime Day today, right?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Right, exactly. Anyway.
All right. Hey, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you all here next week.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.